Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I know it is lunchtime, so woo-hoo, thank you for coming during this time of the day. My name's Agaytha Corbin. I am everybody asks me, and I chuckle because these gentlemen ask me like, well, what's your story? Well, my story is huge, but I always say very humbly, I am a community servant leader. And I need you to engrave that into your brain, community servant leader. And I'm a businesswoman. I like to make money. Because in order to bless the community, you need to be able to write a check. Keep that in mind, okay? Capitalism is not bad. It's what we do with it or not do with it that makes it bad. I started some crazy notion about 20 years ago. I am an ex-banker, bank executive. I worked in community development at several mega banks. And when I came back to my community, which is Dayton, Ohio, I am born and bred from Dayton, Dunbar High School, Wolverines, and I'm not going to say the year.
1962.
Oh, no.
Just kidding.
Dunbar graduate, lived in West Dayton, grew up in the Resident Park area. During my 80s and 90s era, Dayton was still very pliable. We had GM, Delco, NCR, all of the major corporations and manufacturing companies were here. Then when I started at the last mega bank, I was opening up some CRA offices in West Dayton, Butler County, in different counties and rural areas and urban areas so I can create wealth in the community. And when I was doing my own feasibility study in my own community, I saw that it was not getting better, it was getting worse. Predatory lending. We all heard about predatory lending, right? Anybody? What did you hear about predatory lending?
I don't know if it's the same thing, but like the cash checking places.
Check cashing places, high interest rate loans, high interest rate housing loans. Y'all heard about the housing market? Okay, in 2008, the housing market went boom. All of that greed of the excessive capitalism took a big pop in 2008. So for that, what happened in that world translated to make it worse in West Dayton, or really all of Montgomery County. Because a lot of the homes and people who had first-time home buyer programs and things like that, they couldn't handle the housing payments. They couldn't handle the interest rates. So that created a lot of vacant homes, foreclosure rates that skyrocketed into 50 to 60% just in Montgomery County. We were high in foreclosure rate than the nationwide percentage, okay? So then when I was opening up this community office, I had high interest rate loans, people who couldn't afford their rents, their mortgage payments, and then I started seeing the trend of small businesses closing. When I grew up in West Dayton with my parents who were from here, I remember a lot of the business owners looked like me. All of that was going away. West 3rd Street, Gettysburg, every other building started to get empty and boarded up. Okay? Then the school system, when businesses and homes go down, what happens? Infrastructure with the city goes down, the school system goes down. So from 2008 to now, you see the results of what's going on in West Dayton. Then what my heart was, I did start a collaborative effort called the CDCRC Inc. What we are is 82 agencies, businesses, banks, and nonprofits, and churches, and grassroots agencies. We pulled together and created a collaborative effort to leverage current resources. Okay, now Miss Agaytha keeps it real, so I hope you don't get offended, but if you do, get offended the right way. Because what I saw as a banker and as a board advisor on all these boards and dealing with the city, dealing with the federal government, dealing with the county, and all of these wonderful things, is that they were coming over to West Dayton, particularly West Dayton, okay, using our statistics, because we're low income, no income, all of that, getting major funding, major checks on the federal, state side, and then once they get it, those programs never helped Shanika, Ray Ray, and Pookie and them. They were still coming in my office. Okay? So being who I am, being a little loud black girl up in the hood, said, you know what? We have got to collaborate. Leverage. Obviously, West Dayton had a wealth of stuff for them to get the funding, but we wasn't at the table. So the CDCRC said we're going to create a collaborative effort with these smaller agencies and grassroots who was doing the hard work, meeting the needs of Shanika, Ray Ray, and Pookie. And I did Billy Bob, Heaven, all them. All them came through the CDCRC office. Our goal was leveraging resources through financial literacy. We are certified through HUD, Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, all of those big wigs where we do budgeting, credit on a case management base. Then we had, what I also saw is why create all of this wealth on this end, but there's no wealth on the other end to create businesses. Because in order for Shanika, Ray Ray, and Pookie and them to pay their bills, they need a job. In order to get a job, we need to create some business. That's capitalism. This is what it is. So we created the micro enterprise development piece. That's our second division of the CDCRC. We case manage small businesses from the ground up. We're developing their business plan, what a business is, how to maintain it. We are an SBA, Small Business Administration, TA provider for veteran-owned businesses, minority businesses, and women-owned businesses. We helped over 365 businesses open and maintain. And we closed $1.7 million in loans in the hood. You didn't hear that on the news, but we did, because we case manage these businesses along. Our partners under financial literacy and SBA is all the banks, 2 credit unions. We also created a program called Angel Auto. There's another problem. Because it's in Dayton, all the good jobs, because again, GM closed, Delco closed, NCR pulled out, all of that is gone. So everybody that wanted to get a decent job, whether they were in school or not, or single moms, 2-parent homes, whatever, they had to go outside the city of Dayton to work. And what happened? A lot of them couldn't even get there. I had a lot of families come in that wanted to do their business or wanted to get a job or just get to the doctor's appointment. So we started Angel Auto under our financial literacy division, where you can get a car from $1,000 to $5,000 in partnership with Right Pack Credit Union. We helped over 400 families get a car. And a lot of them were small business owners because they needed a car to operate their business. These are big. In your world, it may not be a big deal, but in the West Dayton world, that's a big deal. So where I can get to school, where I can get my kid to daycare, where I can get to the beauty shop so I can create wealth in my household. Our third division is the Dayton Area Grant Center. Well, we saw other grassroots agencies like ourselves struggling. Again, they were in the hood helping the community with very little limited resources like us. So we created a grant center where we do grant development, writing, capacity building, and case management of other grassroots nonprofits. And we are fiduciary over several of them that are doing very well now. And then in that, I got crazy enough to get this building on Salem Avenue. Our building went chaotic. We had a major water break. And then that's where we met Dr. Kevin and his team that came in and assessed our building. And we said, you know what? We no longer want to be beholden to DPNL and veteran in such that kind of manner. Again, we needed help to maintain, because owning a building, commercial property with utility costs, I'm keeping it real, it's this cost. This is just not, you roll out the bed and say, hey, I want to help the community. bills got to still get paid, right? And we found out that we were not the only nonprofit or businesses on that Salem corridor that were struggling when the energy hike went up. Because after 2008, the financial crisis affected energy costs, gas costs, food costs. In West Dayton, we lost Kroger's, we lost grocery stores. So we started what you call the Urban Green Initiative, OOGI, where we wanted to not only